Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bekah and I am going to be answering all of your questions about my most recent trip to Walt Disney World. I put up a question box over on Instagram. You guys submitted some awesome questions about our trip. So let's just go ahead and jump into it because there's a lot to go through and I already know that I won't make it through everything. So let's get started. To give a little backstory on this trip first, to kind of bring some context to some of these questions. This was a girls trip with my Disney bestie, Ashley. I will have her channel linked down below. I know she's doing a Q&A over on her channel as well. So definitely go check out her video. And between the two of us, we had 3 toddlers at Disney World. We stayed 5 nights at Caribbean Beach and we had a fantastic time. This was also my first trip not traveling with family. So a little bit of a different style of trip. So that's where a few of these questions come into play. So I'm just gonna jump into question number 1. First question, did you find you guys were on the same page about what you wanted to do and see? And for the most part, yes. We also had kind of planned out our park days prior to our trip, so that was really helpful. But I mean, the really nice thing is that we both have toddler girls, so that helped a lot with doing princess characters and the rides that we wanted to go on. We were really kind of on the same level, so it wasn't like I was traveling with someone who had middle or high schoolers and then I'm with a toddler, and you know, very different style of trip. But when you're traveling with someone who their kids are the same age as yours, that really helped. So yeah, we really were on the same page about pretty much everything we wanted to do. Next question is about the weather. Everyone wanted to know about the weather. I got lots of questions about weather. So we were there first week of February and the weather really was all over the place. The first day we got there, it was in the 80s, so it made a perfect pool day. And then as our trip went on, it got cooler and cooler. So the first couple of days were great. 80s, I mean, it just was perfect. And then in the evening, it was 70 degrees and just so perfect. And then the last 2 days, it drastically cooled off. I'm talking our Epcot day, it was low 50s when we walked out the door that morning. So very chilly. And I was definitely thankful that I had layers. So we had shorts and tank tops, and then also lots of sweatshirts and leggings and all the things. That is my tip if you are traveling in January, February. Just bring a little bit of everything and you should be good to go. Next question, why not check luggage to stay hands-free in the airport? So we did travel carry-on only. Ashley and I both packed carry-on only. It was quite the challenge, but we did it. And the reason that we decided to do the carry-on route was because we just did not want to risk our baggage getting lost. There have been so many horror stories lately and we just didn't want to risk it. So that's what it came down to. We have checked our luggage many times. We've also traveled carry-on, and carry-on really does just simplify because you don't have to go down to baggage claim. You can just go straight to whatever your transportation is and just kind of keep the day moving, and it's just one less step. So even though it is a little more to handle getting on and off the plane, I was really thankful that we had carry-on only. Next is, did you get some time for just you and Ellie? So Ellie is my 3-year-old toddler, and yes, we had plenty of time, just the 2 of us. And that was one thing that I really appreciated about our time there. Was we did a lot of stuff together, me and Ashley, but we also did quite a bit apart, which really was nice because we each got to kind of do our own thing during different portions of the day. We would split up and kind of, okay, you go do that, we're gonna do this, we'll meet up later tonight for the fireworks. Or, you know, hey, we're gonna hang back in the room, you guys go on, we'll meet you there. It was just so low pressure and it worked out great. So Ellie and I had lots of time where it was just the 2 of us. Ashley had plenty of one-on-one time with her girls, so it really worked out perfect. I got a couple of questions asking for budgeting tips and how to budget for a Disney vacation. So I actually have a digital Disney budget template that's available to download on Etsy. So I'll have that linked down below. But this tool has been a game changer for planning our Disney trips, specifically with me and my husband. So no more guessing how much dining is gonna be, no more like ballpark kind of figures. I'm able to map out down to the penny how much our trip is going to cost. This template even factors in tax for you, and then it gives you a grand total for all of the different segments in the template, and it gives me a visual for what my trip is going to cost. And then I can take it to my husband and say, hey, look, here's the actual numbers. And he is very number oriented, so this is like his love language when I give him this budget template and it's all filled out. He loves it. If you're struggling on where to start with how to budget for a Disney vacation, definitely check out that template. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Pros and cons about traveling to Disney in the month of February versus your favorite time to go. So the only caveat to January, February is marathon season. So you definitely want to make sure that when you are booking your dates to avoid those marathon weekends, because that draws a lot of crowds and you do not want to be stuck in the middle of some big marathon event. You know, as you're headed to Magic Kingdom, everyone's leaving, or, you know, it's just crazy. So that would be the only negative to going in January, February. But if you avoid those marathon weekends, it's really a great time to go. You have Festival of the Arts. Crowds are lower-ish for the most part. I would say crowds were moderate during our time there, which again, there's really no low season at Disney World anymore. You're really just getting either moderate crowds or crazy busy crowds. There's really no, like, the park is empty, no one's here kind of time to go anymore. I do also love traveling to Disney World in September. That's another moderate time to travel crowd-wise. And I do love the Food and Wine Festival. Festival of the Arts will always be my favorite, but Food and Wine is a close second. So September would be my favorite time to travel. And then January, February, I really love too. So, you know, it just comes down to what your preferences are. There's pros and cons, you know, to any time of the year, any season. Okay, next question. What surprised you on this trip? A couple of things, actually. The first one being, I didn't expect to love the Skyliner as much as I did. I'm a big monorail resort girl, and so switching over to the Skyliner, I knew it was gonna be nice and really convenient, but I didn't know that I was going to fall in love with it even more than the monorail. I just enjoyed the ease of getting on and off the Skyliner way more than the monorail. So that was one thing that really surprised me. I really loved the Skyliner. It was really, really great, really convenient. It was fast, and you kind of have your own private transportation, you know, in your own little gondola, so you're not like squished up next to another family. I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it. So the other thing that I would say that surprised me on this trip was how not doing table service meals really didn't affect our trip at all, like in the best way. Early on before the trip, we decided to cut out all of our table service meals except for one. We did do the Fantasmic dining package, but that was it. We did quick service for everything else. And dining is, in past trips at least, it's always been a big part of the experience, you know, trying new restaurants, and it's just really fun getting to try all these new places. And there was part of me that was a little disappointed, like just slightly disappointed that we weren't gonna get to do some of these table service meals that I was really looking forward to, because we knew, and we shared about this in my trip announcement video. If you go back and watch that, I kind of go into detail about this, but we canceled it because we knew it was just gonna be the best fit for our toddlers. They're just in a stage right now where sitting still at a table is really hectic, and we knew that we were gonna have a better experience if we just did quick service and had a little more casual dining experience at each meal. So that's why we ended up canceling all of our dining, again, apart from the Fantasmic dining package. But I really, really loved having quick service only, and we would get snacks and just head to the Hubgrass and just find a little corner, find a little bench, and, you know, our toddlers would run and play and come back for bites of pizza or whatever, and it just was really, really nice. So that was one thing that also surprised me about this trip, was how much I loved not having dining reservations. Okay, next question. Did back-to-back park days wear everyone out? So we did do 4 park days back-to-back, all in a row. We did Magic Kingdom, then Hollywood, Epcot, and then ended with another Magic Kingdom day. I'm curious to see, Ashley, what you say about this question. And we kind of talked about it at the end of the trip, just about how next time we would probably factor in a pool day after the second park day, because at least for my toddler, she was done by the last day. We had Magic Kingdom. We spent the whole morning there. We came back for nap time and she got up from her nap and I could just tell she was done. She was so tired. And so I texted Ashley and told her, hey, you guys go on. Ellie and I are gonna stay back and hang out at the splash pad. And I think it had really caught up to her by that last day, how tired she actually was. So again, typically, we wouldn't do 4 park days back to back to back. I think next time we will factor in a pool day, or at least a pool afternoon or evening, or a half park day or something, just to break it up a little bit more, because toddlers just get worn out so quick. It's so overstimulating and it's just a lot. And I think it's easy to forget that when you're in the moment and they're having so much fun and it seems like everything's going great. And then you're on day 4, day 5, and they start falling apart and you're like, what's going on? But you've gone at this really quick pace. So again, next time, I think we're gonna do half park days, or, you know, pool mornings or something to just break it up a little bit more. I got lots of questions about my thoughts on Caribbean Beach. So I did want to mention here that I do plan on sharing a pros and cons video all about our resort stay. So if you asked a question about Caribbean Beach specifically, just know that that will get answered in that video, because I have so much to share about the resort, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So stay tuned for that video and be on the lookout, because I will definitely share more about our resort. Okay, this next one, did Ellie sleep in the little pull-out bed? Were you all in the same room? So I'm sure you'll see in the vlog, but we are not in the same room. Ashley and her girls were in a room right below us, and we were right above them on the second floor. So we had 2 rooms, which I think worked out great. Just thinking about toddler sleep during nap time and bedtime and getting ready in the mornings with 3 toddlers, I just don't see how they would have gotten much sleep with that much going on. And I know for my toddler, Ellie, if she had been in the same room with Lucy, Ashley's 3-year-old, there's no way she would have fallen asleep. She would have been so excited that she was there with her. So we had our own room, our own space, and I did put Ellie on the little pull down 5th sleeper bed. She does really well in smaller beds right now, because that's what we have at home for her. We have a toddler sized bed. So I knew that putting her in that would be a little more comfortable than putting her in this big queen bed. She's done okay in queen beds before, but I think she just prefers the smaller beds, and I'm really glad we had that 5th sleeper because she really, really loved it. Do you use discounted sites for park tickets or purchase directly through Disney? So I purchased my tickets directly through Disney, at least right now, until Disney will sell me an annual pass again. I canceled my AP back in 2020 when just who knew what was gonna happen, and so I canceled it, and biggest regret, but here we are, still buying park tickets, buying my 3-year-old park tickets now. We do purchase directly through Disney. That way we can get the package with our room. A lot of times, you know, we'll book with a discount, and that way we can do the $200 deposit when you do the resort and ticket package together. So that's why we'll do the tickets through Disney. But if I'm renting DVC points and I'm not doing the package with Disney with the $200 deposit, then that would be a case where I would look into buying discounted tickets through a third-party site, since you can't do a resort and ticket package when you are renting DVC points. So that would be a case where I would look into discounted tickets, but typically if I'm doing just a regular room like at Caribbean Beach, it was just a standard package, and we did the $200 deposit and we got our room and tickets together. Best, most memorable moments and worst moment. Best moment would probably be at Hollywood Studios. So right when you walk into the park, off to the right-hand side, there's restrooms, and right above that, there is usually Daisy and Donald up on the little balcony. And typically they don't come down, and they'll just wave and kind of somewhat interact with you as much as they can from up on this balcony, and it's super cute. You can just kind of wave and kind of get your picture down below where they're stationed up on this balcony. Well, when Ashley and I walked over to that area, Daisy and Donald saw my little girl Ellie Ellie in her Minnie Mouse dress and Ashley's little girl Lucy in her Daisy dress. So unprompted, Daisy and Donald came down the stairs to say hello and give hugs and play with them and interact with them. It was seriously the most magical, like that was the Disney moment. You know what I mean? Like it was the Disney moment. And I felt kind of bad because there were some people lining up behind us thinking that this was a character meet and greet. And the cast member actually had to turn them away saying that, you know, sorry, this is not a meet and greet. Daisy and Donald do not typically come down. They're gonna have to go back up in a minute. And, you know, so I kind of felt bad that a couple people were, you know, forming a line behind us, but it was really special that they came down just for Ellie and Lucy to get pictures, and we got it all on video, and it just was so, so sweet. Best moment of the trip. Worst moment of the trip would probably be at Epcot. So Ashley and I had split up. She went on with her girls to get some lunch, and I stayed back because I wanted to try out a few of the other festival booths that we had already passed. And so we just kind of decided, well, you guys go on and we'll hang back. Well, in the middle of all that, they had already left. It starts pouring, like just your typical thunderstorm out of nowhere, kind of Florida rain, right? So we run inside, and all of a sudden the rain kind of stops, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, we'll head back out. If it's just a drizzle, like I've got my rain jacket, we've got our rain cover, we're good. The wind starts blowing people like down the pathway. I'm talking, this was something out of a movie. Like umbrellas were flipping inside out. It was just like stuff was blowing off tables and carts, and the wind was insane. It was kind of scary. And people are panicking, running inside. And Ellie and I got stuck in this gift shop in Italy for probably 45 minutes, just standing in this gift shop while the wind was just pretty much blowing things out of the gift shop. Like things inside the gift shop were blowing out the door. Like that's how much wind was going through this gift shop, even because doors are propped open. And anyway, it was crazy. But I did kind of feel like, man, we missed like the prime lunch hour of me getting to try different food and drinks at the festival, because then at that point it was, you know, getting close to 12:45, 1 o'clock. And, you know, I'm like, well, great. Now we have to go back for nap time, and I missed lunch and I'm starving. And anyway, so we tried a couple of things, but I didn't get to do quite as much as I had hoped because we got stuck in this gift shop for almost an hour. So that was my worst moment of the trip, but really not that bad, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's not that bad. Do you travel with pack and plays, car seats, strollers, etc., or can you rent them? So pack and plays and car seats, we do not travel with those. All Disney resorts provide pack and plays for you, or they'll give you a mini crib depending on availability, or you can even place a request if there's a certain one you prefer over the other. And then same thing for car seats, depending on your transportation. We typically, well, lately have been doing private transportation. We just really love the private transportation route. They will provide car seats for you, and that's typically included with your private transportation service. But if you are doing a bus service like Sunshine Flyer or Mears, then you won't have access to a car seat. You'll just hold your baby or toddler. And then same thing with strollers. We always travel with our own stroller. You know, it's nice having the one that you know your little one is comfortable in, you're familiar with. You can rent strollers at Disney. There's lots of stroller rental companies. Personally, I just prefer bringing our stroller from home, and I know that's probably what the majority of people do. But again, there are lots of companies that offer stroller rentals. They'll even deliver the stroller to your resort, and they make it really easy. So if that's something that would simplify your travel day, not having to worry about a stroller, then it's definitely an option. Okay, this next one, morning routine from wake up to getting to the park. I actually have a morning routine video that I filmed on a past trip with my toddler. So if you want to check that out, I will have that linked down below. And then spoiler, I did film a nighttime routine on this trip. So be on the lookout for that one as well. I'm very excited about it. All right, I am gonna end it there or else this video is going to be forever long. I probably got through half of the questions. So if you would like to see a part 2 to this Q&A, let me know down below in the comments and I can pick up where I left off in another video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed so you do not miss the rest of these trip vlogs. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.